Meet Samuel, a young entrepreneur from Lagos. Samuel is like many Nigerian and African small business owners, driven by passion, fueled by ambition, and always on the lookout for ways to grow his business. Samuel runs a small clothing line, and things are going great. Sales are coming in, his brand is getting popular, and he's beginning to think big about expansion. But like many small business owners, Samuel quickly realized that while it's easy to dream big, keeping the business alive meant getting serious about money management. Today, we're going to follow Samuel's journey as he learns the importance of managing cash flow, balancing debt, and planning for long-term growth. Business was booming, orders were coming in, and Samuel's staff were working overtime to meet demand. But one day, Samuel got a surprise. A large payment from one of his biggest customers was delayed. Suddenly, Samuel didn't have enough cash on hand to pay his suppliers. His rent was due and his staff expected their salaries. Samuel found himself in what we call a cash flow crisis. Even though his business was doing well on paper, he didn't have the cash in hand to meet his immediate obligation. Sounds familiar? This is something many small business owners face at one point or another. But here's what Samuel didn't know at that time. Managing cash flow isn't just about money coming in and out. It's about planning. You need to track when you are expecting to receive payments and when you need to make payments. Without that balance, even a profitable business can struggle. After that crisis, Samuel thought about taking a loan to give his business some breathing room. He needed money to stock up on inventory and invest in better marketing. But the idea of taking on debt scared him. What if he couldn't repay it? A few days later, Samuel decided to visit a mentor. His mentor explained that debt, if used wisely, can help a business grow. Samuel, he said, it's not about whether or not you take on debt. It's about making sure the debt helps your business grow, not sink. So Samuel learned the golden rule. Never borrow just to survive, borrow to grow. He decided to take a small loan, but only after calculating exactly how he would use it to increase his sales and improve his cash flow in the long term. With a clear plan, he took the loan and things started to improve. As Samuel's business grew, he started thinking about expanding to other cities. The opportunity for long-term growth was huge, but it also required a big investment upfront, new equipment, hiring more staff, and marketing in new regions. But this time, Samuel approached it differently. Instead of diving into expansion without a plan, Samuel mapped out his cash flow projection. He analyzed his current debt and carefully balanced that with what he could afford now with his vision for the future. By balancing his short-term needs, like paying staff and suppliers, with his long-term growth plan, Samuel was able to grow steadily without stretching his finances too thin. Samuel also learned the importance of setting aside an emergency fund just in case things didn't go as planned. Samuel's biggest lesson came when he realized that avoiding cash shortages isn't about luck but preparation. He started using basic financial tools like a cash flow statement, which showed him exactly when his payments were coming in and when his bills were due. He also implemented simple tricks like sending out invoices earlier and negotiating better payment terms with suppliers. These small changes helped him to stay on top of his cash flow and avoid the kind of shortages that once kept him up at night. Samuel learned that running a successful business requires more than passion and hard work. It requires financial planning. He began using digital tools that tracked his cash flow, calculated how much debt he could handle, and even projected his future earnings based on current trends. One key technique Samuel picked up was setting clear financial goals. Whether it was breaking down monthly cash flow targets or determining how much of his profits to reinvest, having a plan helped Samuel to stay in control of his business. By the end of it, Samuel had transformed his business from a growing startup constantly in financial trouble to a thriving, scalable enterprise. And it all started with mastering cash flow management. So what can we learn from Samuel's story? Here are 5 key takeaways for every entrepreneur trying to manage cash flow and debt effectively. Number 1 is to track your cash flow regularly. Always know when money is coming in and when it is going out. Use a cash flow statement or financial tool to help you with this. Number 2 is use debt wisely. Only take on debt if it helps your business grow. not just to cover short-term expenses. Number 3 is balance short-term needs with long-term growth. Don't stretch your finances too thin by trying to grow too quickly. Plan for the future, but take care of today. Number 4 is to avoid cash shortages. Set up systems to manage payments and collections. Try to negotiate better terms with suppliers and customers. Number 5 is to plan financially for growth. Use financial planning tools to help you project your earnings, track your debt, and set realistic financial goals. At Growth Plug, we believe that financial discipline is one of the key ingredients for growing your business. Start with these steps today and you'll be on your way to not just surviving, but thriving.